Hey, hello everyone. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you are when you are watching this. Welcome to my open office hour. My name is Terza Ekholm, and my company is the Terza Factor, and I'm on a mission to make AI simple and clear for anyone who wants to start using it, which may be a whole lot of people because AI is here to stay and not going away. And it's just, besides being very helpful and useful, it's a whole lot of fun. As Helen and I were talking about just as we were getting started. Good morning, Marcy. Good to see you here. So what I always like to do is just go out around the room real quick, say your name, the name of your business, and what you'd most like to learn from AI. And then I'll start to answer questions and do a mini demo and answer more questions if you like. So we'll go ahead and start with you, Helen. You're in my first corner there.
I'm Helen Brahms. I'm currently based in Surprise, Arizona, soon to be Paraparaumu, New Zealand. And my business currently is Before the Dirt Nap, but we're in transition on that right now. And what it's going to be, we don't know. And what do I want to learn from AI this week? Oh, I don't know, because I've been working with the Canva AI. I've been brainstorming with ChatGPT. And I've got to figure out a few more. I would like to know a good AI program that will put music to lyrics. I have the lyrics written. I don't have the music. So if anybody can recommend a great AI program for putting music to lyrics, I would love to know what it is. Thank you.
Oh, fabulous. If we discover that today, I will, of course, we'll talk about it, but if not, I will follow up on that also. So that's a great question, Helen. I love that. Michelle.
I'm back.
Hi, Evelyn. Welcome back.
Yeah, the internet on the island is, it's challenging. I'll be nice.
Yeah, it can be quite frustrating, I'm sure. So we're just going a round of introductions. So I'll come back around to you. Michelle is up.
So I'm Michelle McCullough, currently in North Central Texas in what I would consider the middle of nowhere, because it's kind of middle of nowhere. And let's see, my business is Metamorphic Leadership International, and I am really enjoying some of the things that I've discovered this week you can do with ChatGPT that were happening quite unexpectedly. Just touch on that very briefly. It was like I was using it to ask a very personal question about something I was looking up on Google, but I thought, well, let's see what ChatGPT can tell me on this topic. And then I kept going deeper and deeper and giving it more and more information around the situation and more and more. And this has been going on for several days, and it's turned into like a personal counselor that's giving me amazing feedback that like rings true, because I know enough about this subject to know that it's totally giving me really honest responses. And it's also through that helping me see things to factor into my business. And so then I took pieces of that and started asking around the business aspect of it. So really cool things are showing up that I could have never created or come up with on my own. And then I started saying, okay, how do we save this kind of stuff and then turn it into a GPT thing and, all these other stuff, because I don't want to lose it from this thread and everything. And it was like, so it's like, I'm learning all sorts of really cool things.
Love that. That's so cool.
All from just a simple, like wanting to know about a personal related topic that I was wanting deeper information on.
Very nice. Very nice. To address part of your earlier point of what's been happening with ChatGPT, and also the comparison between ChatGPT and Google was part of what I wanted to talk about today. So that is just perfect. So,
cool.
All right. Thank you. And welcome those who are just joining us. Sarah, we're just going, I'm calling on people. We're going around the room just to introduce ourselves. So Gary, you're up next. Just to reiterate, say your name and your business and what you want most from AI today.
I'm Gary Perot. I'm a writer. I'm doing marketing for a chiropractor, And I'm doing some work with an election integrity group. So I'm doing studies on law, California law. I was recently trying to, I've had problems both with trying to process files and data. I've been told that I can use AI to process Excel spreadsheets, and I tried that. It didn't work. I printed them out to PDF, and I tried to manipulate the PDF. Couldn't find a way to do that. And for my writing, I'm trying to figure out a way to upload large documents and have it, give me, wrap its head around, a fairly large piece of body of work, and then give me outlines or look for redundancies or ask it to process it. So I'm having problems getting that. I use AI for point work all the time. And the portals I'm using are typically Copilot, Perplexity, and Grok, and a little bit of Max AI.
Oh, very cool. Okay. All right. Well, we'll see what we can address. We might not get to that in today's session, but as the session's being recorded, I hope to come back to some of these things because these are all juicy topics. So up next is on my screen anyway is Delyn, if I'm pronouncing it right. Go ahead and introduce yourself. Oh, come off mute. You're on mute.
I think you can unmute her, Terza, from participant screen.
I sense here I can ask to unmute. Whoops. Oh, that was Michelle. Whoops. Okay, we'll come back to you, Delyn. Not a problem. All right, Emmeline, you're up next.
Hi, I'm Emmeline Morris-Sayre, and I live in St. Croix, U.S. Virgin Islands. I'm a photographer and have gotten into book publishing, and I'm looking forward to with AI to help me with ideas and formatting and helping to generate a process, especially with the book publishing. So
Excellent. All right, good to see you here. All right, now Delyn, you go ahead.
Can you hear me okay?
Yes.
Okay, good. Sorry, I started like clicking on all kinds of stuff and then and the power was out this morning, so I apologize for showing up late.
No worries.
But yeah, I'm here in Thornton, Colorado, just outside of Denver. And I'm on medical leave right now because I had surgery last week, but so I'm glad that I was able to attend this morning, or else I wouldn't have been able to while working. But I'm a medical coder at a level 1 trauma center at downtown Denver. So I happen to see this on Meetup, and we've been talking about AI in our meetings at work, and kind of makes everybody a little nervous. We just wonder about our jobs and things like that. But I still just want to know more about it, actually. And then I actually noticed that you had crypto in the meeting as well too.
Yes.
So I was curious about that. I had bought like one of those dummy books to try to get a better understanding. So I do know a little bit about it. So if you're going to talk about that a little bit today, that would be cool if you have time.
Okay. Okay. First of all, welcome, and I'm glad to see you here. Hope you're recovering well from your surgery.
Thank you. Sorry for the way I look. I usually am a little bit more kept up, but because I'm from Texas, so I feel like I look scary.
Oh no,
You look fine.
Thank you.
I was admiring your sweater. That's gorgeous.
Oh, thank you. But I'm looking at myself in this camera and I'm just like, oh, yeah.
No, we see a beautiful, vibrant person on our cameras. So just to let you know. Yeah.
Nice to meet everybody.
Nice to meet you. For the crypto, yes, I'm into crypto as well. I don't cover that so much in these sessions. However, if people start bringing forward some of those questions, I can dive into that a little bit too. I've been in crypto for a number of years, but I'm very super cautious about imparting information because I know there's a lot out there, and I just want to be in integrity because I believe in it. I think it's super valuable, but there's a lot to know about it. So
Yeah.
so I might not get to that today. So just to let you know, but Marcy, you're up next. We're just introducing ourselves, name, business, and what we want to learn about AI today.
Okay, my name is Marcy Green. My company is Sea Green Financial. You can spell it SEE or SEA Green. I really get business loans for small to medium-sized businesses. I mean, whatever kind of loan that you can qualify for that makes sense to you, we can get you a loan, and with very little hassle. I live in Northridge, California, which is the Valley. I'm a Valley girl. And what I'd like to get out is today, we've talked about the Great Discovery, the Genius Club, the Numerous, and then I started poking around, and I wound up getting into this something called Make, M-A-K-E. And I'm just puttering around with them, and I'm not getting anywhere. It's like going down a rabbit hole. I just need clarification. What's on top, what's next, and what I should be doing step 1, 2, and 3.
Okay.
So that's what I'd like to know, as opposed to, well, it does this and that and everything else, which is beautiful, but I can't retain that even though I take notes on my other screen. So I just need a little more structure for me.
Okay, no, these are great, Marcy, and then again, this ties into what I wanted to talk a bit about in today's session. The difference between something like a ChatGPT or some of the other AIs and the specific AI tools, and how you can put the two of them together to help you get more of what it is you want. As you said, Marcy, that
I've
structure.
been using Chat and Gemini. I really prefer Gemini. It's easier and it answers my questions. It talks more to me than ChatGPT. So
Yes. So exactly. Whatever I teach in ChatGPT today, pretty much you can do the same thing in Gemini. So, yep, that makes a lot of sense to me. Okay, Sarah, go ahead.
Hi. So I'm loving AI, but I feel like I'm like, if it was a set of stairs, I'm on the first stair. So it was great to hear Gary mention some of these other things. And I'm like, wow, I gotta hear more about that. I'm here because I'm very interested in I guess, administrative automation. And AI is, I think, the way to do that. And I've been hearing the word agents again. Terza, I was on the cruise with Terza in February that we got some AI training. But I'm finding that when I hear something, I need to hear it 5 times. And so that was great being there, but it's going to take a little while for me to really implement stuff. But my big question is, what are the first steps to, I mean, I'm assuming I need to pick one thing to automate, or do I need, is it an integration thing? I'm just kind of lost on, where do you start the automation process? And how to do it with AI. So I'm not sure that's a good question. It's too big, but there it is.
It's a great question to start with, and we'll see if we can get to it in today's session because it's super important. But the short answer is to first decide exactly what it is you want, as we both learned on the cruise, Sarah, and then from there, being able to map out what the different steps for what you want, and then identifying which agents will be able to manage that for you, which might include ChatGPT, but it might include a whole host of other agents that are already out there. So we'll see if we can get into that. So thank you for being here. Daisy, oh, Daisy went off camera, and
Yeah, I actually I just stepped off from my desk. I've been waiting for being called.
okay.
I work, sorry, I will go back to my desk later, but I can introduce myself. I'm Daisy Lee, and I work in the payment industry as a senior software product manager. I'm interested to learn more about AI and to want to implement this kind of a technology in my to my work. So earlier on, people are kind of talked a lot about the Gen AI, and recently there are many agents to people created, and yeah, I'm seeking the opportunity for implementing some AI related component into the product I design and worked with.
Oh, very cool. And by gem, do you mean, are you using the gems that are
The
available?
no, I'm not using anything yet,
Okay.
but I'm exploring and researching and learning. That's why I end up joining this meeting.
Okay. All right. Well, welcome. Thank you.
Thank you.
Sheldon, are you there?
Hey, how's it going? Good to see
Great.
you.
How you doing? Good to see
Yeah,
you.
thanks for hosting this. Really it's multi-purpose and more just kind of being a listener right now, but I think right now with my practice, I'm using it more just for general content and social media, but also with doing the couple things, I'm been more focused with a business acquisitions and then a medical roll up right now. So my focus has been a little bit different than messing with AI, but also realize this is going to be a big part of what we're going to be doing moving in the future. So yeah, I think right now just mainly the social media mixed with what tools are out there and trying to stay current with all this stuff that I've already been using and seeing like which one makes the most sense for the processes that I'd be using them.
Okay. All right. Great. Thank you very much, Sheldon, and welcome. Well, we met, Sarah and I both met Sheldon on the cruise as well. So you had your hand raised, Sarah? Go ahead.
Yeah, I did. I wanted to say, because Sheldon triggered something. I'm really excited about AI, and the reason is that I'm a solopreneur, and so I'm a business coach, and I work in representing 2 or 3 companies in selling their product, and even with the VA, I feel like I'm not getting the job done, and so I'm really looking forward to having. My VAs are amazing, and I think if I can, when I can learn this material, I'll be able to introduce it to them and take them to the next level so they can implement it. So that's what I'm really hopeful.
All right, very nice. Yes, I do understand the overwhelm. Believe me,
Right.
which is, I understand the allure of the agents, and I think in some cases they're here, but I think they're not yet widespread adopted because there's a lot to understand first, I think. And the understanding is not how to program an agent. I don't mean that by understanding. I mean how it is we can work with AIs. So with that, I was having a conversation with my husband this morning. My husband and I both used to be in high tech. We both been retired from that industry for a number of years. And he works with a company part-time for a company called Seniors Helping Seniors. And we were talking a bit about this tech gap that I see is going to be, it's already big, but it may get bigger, and I don't want to leave seniors behind, especially, which leads me into my next point. So what I told my husband was, for example, the difference between just doing a simple Google search and using ChatGPT. You can find out a lot of things just doing a simple Google search. It will get your question answered most likely. And if not, you'll probably keep rephrasing your question until you do get the answer you want. But the difference is I'm not talking about Google Gemini. I'm only just talking about Google search. You just get the answer. If I ask the same question in ChatGPT and it gives me the answer, I can further have a conversation and refine and dig deeper into what it is, exactly what it is that I want. That's what's a huge difference. Now, I'm starting with that because what we now have currently, we have the chatbots, the AIs, the LLMs. I just like to call them AIs. What I mean by that is we have things like ChatGPT, we have Google Gemini, we have Claude by Anthropic, we have Grok by x.ai, by the way, and oh, Meta AI by Meta, owner of Facebook. All of these are, I don't want to say general purpose, but kind of general purpose large language models. These are the ones you can have a conversation with and dig deeper into, and so that you can get more about exactly what you want. The other things that some of the people have brought up are tool sets. So you may have heard me reference the AI Genius Club on the Great Discovery platform. There's another one that that Sarah's more familiar with, but I've been a little bit on that, called Ruby AI. Again, it's a set of tools, actually plus an AI, so that's actually even more. Canva used to be a set of tools you can use for, I'll just say graphic design, but for making art, social media posts, it has grown tremendously. In the not the beginning, but at some point it was starting to introduce an AI to experiment with you talking to their AI to create pictures and diagrams and that kind of thing that you could use within Canva itself. Canva, just earlier this week, or was it last week, has already made this huge leap into something probably more hybrid. So now it offers, in addition to its fabulous tools, which are really amazing, the ability to use its AI to create a ton more stuff, but in a fashion that makes sense to each person who's using it for the things that they want. So that's a huge step in the right direction. Me personally, I've been using ChatGPT since probably about the beginning. And so I've grown with it. It's grown with me. And I use it as kind of as Michelle referenced earlier. I also use it sometimes as a personal companion to bounce some things, some more personal ideas off, as well as business ideas. But the thing that I also use ChatGPT for is if I'm stuck with a tool like Numerous.ai, which Marcy mentioned, Numerous.ai is a spreadsheet tool that you can actually talk to your data, which I haven't delved much into it, but it's really an amazing way to integrate or understand even your own data for your business much better. But it can seem super overwhelming. In other conversations, other sessions of this, we've talked with Helen, who told me that there are 2,000 plus AI tools released every single day. Nobody could keep up with all that. And that's kind of crazy to think that you would even want to. But where do you start? It's just overwhelming. So pick one, not necessarily pick one, but if in the case of Marcy likes Google Gemini, I like ChatGPT, sounds like Gary likes Grok. They're all good. Claude. I've heard a lot of people say they really like Claude, especially for business.
Terza, what was the name of that talking spreadsheet? What did you call it?
Numerous.
Numerous.
Numerous.ai, which, by the way, is powered by ChatGPT. So
Oh.
another thing to notice, not all companies will tell you, but some will if you ask them. A lot of them are using ChatGPT on the back end to power their things. A company like castmagic.io specifically says up front, we use ChatGPT to power our interface. Castmagic is one of those specific tools that does things with your video recordings, audio recordings, and gives you a whole host of amazing features for interacting, learning more about those creations, including other people's YouTube videos, by the way. It's a really super tool, and it uses ChatGPT in the background. I don't know what the AI Genius Club uses in their background. It might be ChatGPT. It might be one of the other ones. I'm going to guess that XAI has its own set of tools, partially because I know that Elon Musk is creating a huge set of GPUs to power X or Grok, which is he has a different mission, but at the same time, Grok is also a super useful AI. I've played with that one as well. I happen to like ChatGPT the best, and I will share with you a little bit about why. So I'm going to go over here. Oh, share screen first. Hold on. And can you see my ChatGPT screen?
Yes.
Okay,
Yes.
great.
Yes.
All right. Here's something that's important to know, and I think it's only available if you do the plus subscription, which is $20 a month. There's a premium subscription, which is what, $200 a month. But over here, up in the upper right-hand corner, you can see that it says plus. But the thing that I want to show you is this customized ChatGPT. So if you just click on that, it will actually guide you through this. When it first came out, it didn't even give you these questions, but my name, what do I do? What traits should ChatGPT have? So I have given it some information that I wanted it to know about myself. So it knows then what kind of how I prefer my interaction. So I told it my name, how to pronounce it, and I gave it some information. I wanted it to give me solid information, but I also wanted it with some fun. Some other things, if your content, if your content policy is an issue, provide the closest acceptable response, be highly organized, suggest solutions I didn't think about, provide detailed explanations because I'm comfortable with lots of detail and I value good arguments over authorities, consider new technology, use an encouraging tone, so that kind of thing. Now, since I did that, it's added all these things that I could add to it. And so think about what it is you prefer. And then you can always go back in here and change it, by the way. And then what else ChatGPT should know about me. So this sort of thing is how I set up ChatGPT. And then of course I just click save. I know, cancel. Because of this, it feels like ChatGPT and I have grown a relationship over time. So I wanted to share that first because I thought that was important for you to understand. And then the next thing that I also wanted to show you is under settings, I believe it is. Under personalization, I think. This is memories. So now during their conversations with ChatGPT, it will save certain things in its memories about you and your conversations. So this is important for you to know. At some point though, I've gotten the message now several times that says your memories are full. And if you want ChatGPT to keep remembering points about your conversation, you need to go in and manage them. So in this case, you just click on manage memories and you just go through each one and see, in my case, I go through and I delete the ones that are used to be relevant but are no longer. So I accomplished whatever task that was that we were talking about at that time, or I wanted to keep it. So that's how I kind of manage my memories. I will let you know though, over the past, whoops, because I have my screen larger, I know, oh, there we go. OpenAI has given ChatGPT more storage space, more memory to remember more about your interactions. So I suspect it's remembering a lot more behind the scenes than even what it shows there in the list of memories. This is important because when for example, I wanted to go understand my CRM, it's very complicated and detailed, and I was getting really frustrated. So I went and had ChatGPT walk me through all of it. So Sarah, go ahead.
Okay, you raised true. Well, I wanted to ask you about the memory that, do you copy all of your, like you make a prompt and you get an answer, do you copy all of that? Because I thought there was no memory in chat. And I haven't figured out how to, I mean, I sort of somewhat organize chat, but it just doesn't feel very efficient or effective. So I was wondering about that.
You mean like there's in terms of,
Yeah, and in the left-hand column, yeah. So you sidebar, it tells you what your conversations are, and I try to go back, and if I've got a topic that I've already done, I'll go back in and, put it in there.
right.
But I just wasn't sure about the memory thing.
Until recently, it couldn't go back through the chat. It's our chats, my chats with it, to cross-reference things. So I would have to then go and say, oh, I couldn't say, not like a person, I couldn't say, remember when we talked about, this last week? It would say, no, I don't have access to our previous chats. But now, I haven't tried to say it that way, but now it does have access to all the previous chats.
Okay.
So now it remembers things across chats, which now turns out to be really useful because I don't have to say, oh, remember my brand colors are going to be purple and chromium blue or whatever the words are. I don't have to say all that. It's got that. Or remember that I'm an AI educator. So just because I asked you last week about health insurance doesn't mean I want I want you to tell me much more about insurance because I actually don't care.
Right.
Right. So did that answer your question?
Sort of. I guess I've started, copying my conversations and saving them on my computer because
Yes.
I just wanted to make sure I could get it. I went into Ruby today and there was a conversation and I can't find it, and so
it's probably there though, actually, because I remember Ruby does save a lot of that too.
Yeah. And there was something you just said before I raised my hand. It was a memory and something else.
Oh, the customization? No.
Maybe
Okay.
it'll come up. Yeah.
I read an article recently where somebody actually, they have two ChatGPTs, and what they do is more complicated than what I would do, but they've got a set of customized instructions for using ChatGPT in one realm of their life and another set of customization instructions for
That's
another
interesting.
realm of their life.
Wow.
I would, that would drive me crazy, but maybe if some people can manage that. So what they do is that when they know what they're going to talk about, they erase the one set of customizations and plop in the other one. So they find that useful. I think in his case, he was talking about whether he was using ChatGPT with his kids or ChatGPT with his business.
That is interesting, Terza, because like I've got everything organized on this left-hand column. However, it's not, to go back and look for a previous conversation. So if I do something like for Meetup, let's say, and I go into my Meetup, conversation, I have to go all the way back or try to find it and
use the search tool. So here you click on search chats.
Okay.
So if I were
Right.
to type in, so yesterday I wanted to know where did I talk to it about putting things in my newsletter? You can see now it popped up all of my chats that have the word newsletter in it. So it's still not perfect, but
Okay.
at least by the titles,
Yeah.
I can figure out what I want. Now, the other thing that you can do is with the chats, say this was for a book cover, but say that I forgot and I continued that some conversation in there that really didn't have anything to do with the book cover and it morphed into something else. You could go over here and click on these 3 dots and rename it.
Okay.
All right. You can also archive or delete. I haven't deleted any, but I have archived a whole bunch of them because there was stuff in my earlier GPT journey that are not really relevant anymore, but I don't want them to go away. So I archived them, but
Thanks.
you're welcome.
So
So
does
go ahead.
do you have to ask ChatGPT to set it up for that left-hand column, or how did you get that set up?
Oh, no, this is all done by OpenAI.
Okay,
It's automatic.
Yeah, this is all set up.
okay.
So, and then Sheldon asked if I'm familiar with making master chats. No.
Yeah, so one of the things that, and you maybe it's a terminology thing too, but in our group that they'll do is they'll upload, let's just say I'm gonna use it for business acquisitions things where they'll upload a lot of data based off of whatever data you feed it, put it that way. And so they'll create what they call master chats. So it always, in a way, it references all the stuff you uploaded. So I think the word was kind of a play on what they called it was their master list, rather. But within those, what you were just showing, because he said sometimes, yeah, after a while, the memory gets so full that they had to go back in there and delete some stuff. But for the most part, it was able to all this data, whether it's PDFs, documents, stuff that you fed your chat GPT, that you always could have it in a way linked to your master list. So it's kind of like your decision maker that would always, when you put your prompt in, would go back to that, if that made sense. I didn't know if you had messed with any of that. And it made sense. And I've tried it and I've uploaded a ton of things in it. But then again, I'm not sure how that all works.
So I haven't done that with ChatGPT. You could probably, what you're talking about is also create a GPT that manages that. Rather
Okay.
than go into that, I will share another tool. This one's from Google. And let me just hop over here because I think this will be helpful for you, Gary. It's called NotebookLM. So it's Notebook, hold on, LM. Oh, you just type in NotebookLM, but what it really is hold on, Google.NotebookLM. I don't know if it's com or AI. Nope, that wasn't it. All right, let me go, and besides, I spelled it wrong. Let me just go with the one I know. I have my searches default to ChatGPT, so that's why, but at least it'll get me there.
You probably should do notebook.google.com.
Yes, you're right. And here it is.
Yeah.
Yes, exactly right. The reason I'm sharing NotebookLM with you, it's a free tool that you get with Google. And of course, yes, there's a paid subscription for that too, but I use the free one, at least here. And here, let me move some things out of the way. What I've done is I've created notebooks based on different topics. Some of them are notes that I've taken myself. Sometimes there are like these Zoom recordings. I've taken the transcript from those. Sometimes I take links to YouTube videos. It works right now mainly off text. So for the YouTube videos, for example, it takes the transcript if it's available. Otherwise, as I shared last time, you can use GLASP to give you the transcript. What's super wonderful about this is I'll grab this one, I guess. This one's about the AI Genius Tool Club on the Great Discovery. But what I did was I uploaded on this side specific resources about this topic. So these are all, for example, this is a transcript of a video that's on YouTube where the two people are talking about how to use, they had an AI Genius Marketing Bootcamp. So what I'm saying is, hold on. You give it a specific set of resources, including some of your own notes and references, for example. So if I had written things down about this, I would have uploaded that in here too. Why this is important and why it's super useful. When you now ask it questions, first of all, it pops in with an overview right away. But now when you ask it questions, it will only give you answers based on the sources you've given it. It won't go out on the web. It won't ask ChatGPT or anything else. It will only answer questions based on the data you gave it. So if you were a book author, for example, and you had assembled a whole bunch of research and a bunch of notes, and even if you were already super organized, which I'm not myself personally, if you put it all together in a notebook like this, you can ask it for trends and data analysis and whatever your questions you would ask of your own data. And it would help with, would help you with that. So is this something that you would find useful, Gary?
Yes, that sounds very useful.
Okay. I thought it might be. And that way you don't, I don't want to say your outlook, but whatever it is you're looking for won't get diluted by extraneous information. Right? So I find this an extremely useful thing.
And this could be a fairly large volume of material?
Yes, okay, so that's where the difference is. For the free version, you can upload up to 50 different items. If you want more than that, you can upload up to 500 different items in the paid version.
And how big is an item?
I don't know. I've never done a huge thing,
Okay.
a huge item. So I haven't played with it that for big things.
Terza, very good. I have a chiropractor appointment I need to leave for. So thank you so much. And thank you everybody else too for your contributions.
All right. Thank you, Gary. Good to see you.
Bye.
Bye. Okay. Next question. What else would you like to know? Sarah?
Oh, I did have a question.
Go ahead.
I don't want to monopolize it. I'm a coach. I ask a lot of questions, you know.
That's okay.
So on this NotebookLM, you've mentioned it a couple times to me and you really like it. I haven't used it. What's the how much is the paid version?
Good question. And for that, I'm going to go back
and
out.
and I can look it up. That's okay.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, I don't know.
I can look it
I
up.
got it as part of what I did for me to get it is in my other account, the tearsofactor.com. I upgraded my Google workspace to be I upgraded Google to be a Google workspace. And
Okay.
that's where it gave me access to the expanded version of NotebookLM.
Okay.
So it's a good question.
Terza, can I ask you a question often that's not connected to this?
Okay, sure.
In ChatGPT, you see at the top on the upper right hand now something temporary. Do you know
yes,
all
temporary
of a
chat.
sudden,
Yeah.
what does that mean?
You can, if you click on that, you can have a chat with it. It's kind of like going to the anonymous browser in Chrome, but it's a chat that you have that won't be recorded in the memories.
Oh, okay.
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 Yeah, that's the biggest.
That they were saying I could only use it for temporarily, you know.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like, oh no, they're cutting me off.
No. Yeah. Yeah. So, okay. Someone else, maybe? Got another question? If not, go ahead and, let me give a moment first. Someone else have a question? Okay, go ahead, Sarah.
Okay.
Go ahead.
Okay, agents.
Yes.
Like I don't. How do you know you're even ready for an agent, and what an agent does? I don't know. As of yesterday, in a conversation, listening to other people, I got this impression that agents are what starts your automation process, and I was like, oh, okay.
I will go ahead and ask ChatGPT. Do you guys prefer to watch the text as it goes up the screen, or would you like to hear ChatGPT talk?
I usually do the text. I didn't know it could talk.
Oh, okay. So over here is voice mode. So let me explain. There's two different things here. One is that here's the microphone. This is for dictating. I like to do that mainly because it's easier for me to dictate what I want to say and then just go correct it on the screen before I hit, send. The other reason for me personally is I read much faster than I hear. So, however, this is also extremely useful. So this is the difference. This is for dictating, and it just puts the text right here in the box. This is voice mode. Sometimes it can be slow depending on what it is. Hi, ChatGPT. Can you give a brief explanation of the difference between automation and AI agents?
Hey, Terza, sure thing. Automation is about setting up systems to perform repetitive tasks without human intervention, like scheduling social media posts. AI agents, on the other hand, can make decisions and adapt based on data they receive. So while automation follows fixed
Talking
rules,
too fast.
Way too, yeah, too fast.
Can't understand her.
Okay, hold on. I can fix that by choosing. I chose that voice because I liked it fast, but we can go over here to settings and we'll choose a different voice that, hold on, if I remember what, oh, speech.
And here's I just went to look to see if I've got the free chat. I went to see if it had a voice. It does have a microphone, but I don't have a voice option.
Oh,
So-
okay, so that may be only true
And
for
paid.
paid version.
Yeah,
there.
and paid.
I've got a really great feeling about us teaming up. How can I jump in and help?
Let me see if I can pick one that was, I know there's a slower one. Oops.
Pretty fast.
Hello, it's lovely to meet you. If there's anything you need, please don't hesitate to let me know. I'm here to help.
That might be a little bit slower. Let's
Yeah,
see.
is there something in between?
Yeah, there probably is. I don't remember all of these anymore because I chose one a long time ago, but let's see if that's it.
Thanks, Daisy.
I'm ready to hit the ground running. So if there's anything you'd like me to focus on first, just let me know.
That one's fast. I know that one. All right.
Hey, how's it going? I'm looking forward to working together. Let's figure out where to start.
This is
What's on your mind?
That might be a little bit better.
Yeah.
But also just to let you know, whatever we do with the voice mode, it puts in text so you can always come back to it. So hold on, let me check here. Daisy says the free one also has an audio function. Oh, you can ask it to slow down to speak. Oh, thank you for that, Daisy. ChatGPT probably knew that I liked it faster. So it complied with what I asked. Hold on a sec. Let me get out of chat. Okay. Hi, ChatGPT. Do speak a little more slowly for me and my audience. Begin by explaining what AI agents are and what we need to know to even get started.
Of course, Terza. AI agents are systems that can act independently to achieve specific goals. They can analyze data, make decisions, and take actions. To get started, you need to define the goals and provide data for the agent to learn from. Start simple, and as you get comfortable, you can build more complex capabilities.
Okay, ChatGPT, a number of us are solo entrepreneurs, and we find ourselves just overwhelmed with the amount of administrative tasks we need to do to get our business done every day.
I hear you, Terza. For solo entrepreneurs, administrative tasks can be a huge time drain. One way to tackle this is by using AI tools to automate repetitive tasks like scheduling, emails, or data entry. This way, you can focus on the core aspects of your business. Start small, and you'll gradually see how much time you can save.
I'll pause it there for a moment.
Can we see that in writing?
Yes. So here we go. So this is when we restarted the conversation.
Yeah.
And then, of course, you can see my response, which, by the way, and then, of course, its next response. What I was going to show you, by the way, if you wanted to hear it again, you would click anywhere inside of its response and click here, and it would replay it by voice if you wanted to hear it again, or as you say, if you wanted to read it again. Like you, Sarah, I actually copy a lot of these things into another document elsewhere, so I can, because I don't want to lose it either.
Right.
Right. So
I mean, there is a copy function here on
Right
the
here.
left-hand icon. Yeah.
that one, and then this one over here, though, this share means I could share this, and I probably will share this whole chat with anyone. When I click on that,
Huh.
oh, okay, no, I can't. If it has audio, I can't.
Okay.
But anyway, so yes, you may, okay, thank you, I got it. You can copy anything in here in somewhere else.
Wow.
And I do that too. Sometimes I even go in and copy this so I know what I asked it. So, oh, actually, I didn't realize that. This is new. That wasn't there before. So, yep. So, we are getting close to, we're 2 minutes away from the end. So I think I will leave it there, but these have been really, really great topics. What I plan to do is go back through some of the things that you people, you, my people, have answered in the beginning about what it is you want from AI, and see what I can either, we can get together privately, or I can address in a future open office hour session, because these are all really great topics and questions. The main thing I wanted to, I would like to share or end on the note of, if you have a question about practically anything, you can ask ChatGPT or Gemini or Grok, whatever your favorite thing is. You can even ask it, what do I need to know to move forward? You could even say, what's a good prompt? And it will tell you, and you can refine from there. So yeah, you could even say, tell me how to talk to you. So
We can't see you, Terza. Your screen is still shared. Oh, there you are.
thank you.
You know, Terza, I actually had that experience. I wanted a graphic or something, and I asked it to do it, and it was getting the wrong thing. And I said, Chat, what do I need to say to you in order to get what I want? And it gave me what I needed to, the prompt that I needed to give it. It was just great.
Exactly. And in your case, when you're using Ruby AI, you could also say to ChatGPT, I want this. Tell me how I talk to it.
Right.
Right? So
What is Ruby AI? What is that?
It's a AI platform that's affiliate marketing, and in that platform it has 10 other services. So it's got Claude, it's got chat, it's got graphics. You know, it's pretty robust.
The other thing I would like, Terza, it just came to mind. possibly an example of how to organize your small business. I don't know how, where to begin. So, unless I maybe jot down some things that I do and then have the ChatGPT put it in a certain order. I really don't know, but we can think about that for next time.
Oh, that's a great one. For example, especially when I'm feeling overwhelmed, I actually say to ChatGPT, okay, I've got these 10 things I need to get done right away. Because that's what it feels like. And I say, help me prioritize them, which ones to do first. And it might say, well, okay, but are you interested in, time managing your day? Or are you trying to pick which activities will lead to cash flow first, whatever. So I might need to give it a little more context than that. But then it will organize them in terms of priority. And if I ask it further, I'd say, well, how much time do I need to spend on each task? It might give that answer to me as well. So I find,
what am I missing?
What am I missing? What should I be doing that maybe I'm not? That's always a great question, Marcy. So,
and I want to pursue more information on the NotebookLM.
Okay.
Yep, how that might help me.
Okay, absolutely. All right. Thank you so much for coming. I really appreciate you. If you find any of this helpful or other people who need to know more about this, please do invite them. This is free. The recordings will be free on YouTube. So, and then you can you'll have access to be able to email me or set up private sessions. So have a fabulous weekend and maybe see you all next week. Take care, everybody.
Thank you.
Thank you so much.
You're welcome.